Hello, it's Nikki and welcome to part 3. If you haven't listened to part 1 and part 2 of this money series, do go back because it will bring a context and some information and a bit of a process, because you know that I like a framework, you know that I like a process. Today, I have an invitation for you, which is to spend some time with your data and to find some ways where you are checking in regularly and also tracking. Now, this doesn't have to be some big convoluted system or something that feels overwhelming or anything like that. This can simply be you paying attention for 5 or 10 minutes, or asking another question, or peeling back another layer. Let me give you a bit of past history on this. I really resisted this for a long time because I'm a creative. I like to be in the moment. I like to feel expansive. I like to think about the future. I get involved in all of that process. And so for a long time, sitting in front of a spreadsheet or really going into my stats or my insights, it felt really boring to me. and it's not. This is the thing. I am genuinely interested and it makes me a better business owner. But for some reason, I kind of held on to that, like, oh no, it's slowing me down. It's slowing me down, pausing and looking. Let me just get on with things. And this has been a really interesting block that I've been working with. Because if I link it to what I want my business and life to be, I want it to be full of ease and flow. The time that I have available to work, I really want to work for me. I don't want to spend ages doing things or spending a day or a week on something and not get a return on investment. And that doesn't necessarily mean financially. There are other ways that I could look at that. Fulfillment or giving back or building a brand, or there are so many different ways. But I don't just want to keep inputting stuff and not knowing whether or not it's going to come back around or it's going to be worth my time. And I also have got to this stage, which again, I think fits in with becoming 40, where I'm not just starting out. So even though the imposter syndrome that everybody talks about wants to say, it's just this little thing, hang about. Like, I've been doing this a really long time. And I know lots of people don't know the things that I know. And equally, lots of people know things that I don't. And I am so desperate to learn from them as well. So if I can, wherever I can, be in that state of, I know stuff, I can help people, I can make a difference, and all those really good, feel-good values, then it's a win-win situation. But what I've noticed over the last couple of years, when I've really been noticing this, is time with data really brings out the truth of the situation. Now, not the whole truth, because sometimes people will come to me and they'll say, I've been listening to your podcast for the last 2 years, or I've watched these videos on Instagram and I've never known about it. Because sometimes people, in terms of data, will say, what's your engagement? Or how many DMs are you getting? Or how many client inquiries are you getting? And actually, that isn't the full picture, because I know myself, and I was actually saying this to a client the other day, even though I love comedy, I love going to the theatre, I am not your best audience member, because I'm not a big laugh out loud person. I am kind of it's like laugh under my breath type person. So you might think if I came to the theatre, I don't know if Nikki enjoyed it. And I probably absolutely did. But I am not that person on row G going, there's always one, isn't there? There's always one. So this invitation for you today is to start with one thing: tracking your data. Now, this could be spending a couple of hours or half an hour actually looking at your bank statement and thinking and seeing what came in this month, what went out, and doing those calculations. Because so often people will say to me, clients especially when they work with me in terms of their pricing menu, I really want to grow. I really want to create more income. But unless you know actually what is going on right now, it's going to be really hard to build on it because you don't know where you are right now and what's happening. And in the beginning of making a change or making a shift, you really want to have those easy wins. You really want to see that progress, because you know what? When you see that progress and when you feel that progress, it becomes more doable. So this week, for example, I signed up to do hot yoga for 6 months. And on day one, I gave myself the task essentially to really feel in to where I was at. And where I was at on Monday, the first time that I went, was tired, achy. I felt lethargic. I felt really old. I felt that there was a lot of work to be done. And I just felt, I felt like I didn't want to be in that place for much longer. And this week, actually, because Matt's been away, I've been here rather, and the hot yoga studio's around the corner. I've been able to go 4 times this week, which actually is quite a significant jump for me because, it's a commitment. But as part of this goal, I book my classes in advance. I've got an app. And this week, knowing that I've done 4 hours, and even by the 3rd or the 4th class, I suddenly felt like, my hip is extending again. Great. Oh, that's good. Oh, that pose suddenly feels easier. I also had a massage on Tuesday. Again, that was a real moment of looking at the data of the woman actually saying to me, wow, your shoulders are crunchy. And I thought, oh my goodness, they really, really are. I don't know when the last time was that I had a massage. I mean, definitely not in the last 2 years, maybe in the last 5 years. I really don't know, to be honest. It isn't something that I've done for a very long time. But now I know that data, I'm going to work on it. She also said, look at your posture, because after you injured your shoulder, your posture and working on that will really help that heal. Again, that was more data. So instead of blindly going through things of like, I don't know, I'll figure it out. Let's just see. Let's keep going. We have to sometimes stop and look at the map. We have to stop and regroup. We've all been in the backs of those cars where the sat-nav's gone off, or back in the day when we had maps and you're in the middle of nowhere, or you're at Glastonbury and you're trying to get to the thing. Sometimes the best thing that you can do is to stop, to check in, regroup, sit down and have a sandwich sometimes. That's the thing. Like, everybody's really hungry. Right, we need to sit down and we really need to assess this situation. But it's a great opportunity. And it's something that's really, really simple. It could be a daily habit. It could be beginning your day and instead of reaching for your phone, in the first minute going, how do I feel today? What am I excited about today? What am I really grateful for today? And I know that that's not always easy, because invariably I have a child on me, in me, next to me, not in me, but we're still playing musical beds here. So to kind of do a whole gratitude morning routine, like that just doesn't always work. My little one has been sick this week, so everything's kind of gone out the window. But sometimes it could be something simple of making a cup of tea, and as you watch that kettle boil, okay, I'm going to think about 3 ways that I could grow my Instagram following, or I'm going to pull in my pelvic floor and see how that feels today. It could be so many things. But I want you to catch yourself wherever you can, to stop, to reassess, to check in. Also, you will know your own instinct. You will know if you are on or if you are off. And if you listen and if you ask another question, you will begin to understand and accept and make a plan going forward of what you need next. If you specifically want some support with your pricing menu, how you price, maybe introducing new products or services into your business, do get in touch. You can come over to my website, nikkiraby.com, and under the how I can support you, there's a whole money section. And I do pick and mix sessions on this. There's an online course on there. There's so many different ways that you can look at this. So I would love you to explore that if you'd like to. There's also a freebie masterclass, which is all about signs that it might be time to increase your prices. If this is the beginning of your tax year, of the financial year, this could be a really good opportunity to really assess this. I will just tell you very quickly. I quoted for a speaking gig. I started working with this company a couple of years ago. And I increased my prices on this because the price that I'd given was 2 years ago. And to be honest, it just didn't feel aligned anymore. It felt like there was, a greater investment from them. And the person came back to me and said, it's still very reasonable. And that was an interesting moment for me and an invitation to explore this further. And what reasonable meant and how I felt about this. And it was bringing a new element of data into the mix. And I love that when you have that opportunity to explore. All right, that's it for today. Please join tomorrow and rate, review, subscribe, all of that good stuff. And I'll catch you then. Lots of love. Bye.